AI has been the buzzword for the markets for more than a year now, and the Futurum Group is about to release some data on how AI is driving the consumer retail experience. For more on that, let's welcome in Stephen Dickens, VP and Practice Lead with the Futurum Group, right now with us. Thank you for being here. So tell us, the retail trends, the consumer experience, what should we be figuring out here?
Hey Nicole, so I've just come from the National Retail Federation. It's the world's largest global retail show. All the big vendors are there, and as you can imagine, everyone's talking about AI. We commissioned some research with Microsoft, 1,000 global respondents, and 87% of those responded that they're deploying operational AI into their retail operations. So already the adoption's starting, we're seeing that come through. All of my conversations with all the vendors was around how AI is being deployed, both from a consumer-facing perspective, but also back in retail operations and merchandising. So a lot of adoption, starting to see it come through.
So is it mostly good? When you think about the operations, for example, sort of understanding what they have, maybe it's inventory, maybe it's customer feedback, how are they using AI in that way, and is it working?
So it's interesting that you mentioned that. The two cases that came out most were inventory management and sales forecasting. 45% of respondents in both cases citing that as their biggest use case. So I think we're going to see it come through in the consumer experience and how people interact. I spent some time with Google. They were seeing it come through in how we search and how we find products on websites. Mm-hmm. But also you're seeing it deployed, as I say, from this Microsoft research that we did in the back office to streamline operations.
Amazon too?
Of course. We spent some time with Amazon while we were there at the show. Mm-hmm. So I think all of the big cloud providers are starting to power these retail operations and really starting to see that come through in some of those use cases.
Isn't it easy for them to just say they're using AI in some way, shape, or form when maybe they're doing nothing but writing AI on the notepad? How do you know that they're using AI?
So one of the examples, a vendor you may not have heard of, a company called Scandit, doing smart data capture, using the phone. So you've seen these kind of ruggedized devices to be able to capture barcodes and shelf edges. Spent some time with the Scandit team, the founder of Scandit today. They're using smart data capture on a phone, powering AI on the device to be able to get that information and improve the store associate experience. So it's not just the big cloud providers, we're seeing it across the entire sector. I spent some time on Lenovo's booth, putting AI into retail, actually in the store. So they've got a returns kiosk, and they were seeing 46% of purchasing based off putting AI into the kiosk. So you go in, and this technology is deployed in Whole Foods, so it's not theoretical. We're starting to see this deployed at scale. So some fantastic use cases.
So, they are seeing 46% of consumers repurchasing in store. So what does that mean?
So this was a smart kiosk. You go in with your return item, you put something into the they print out the label there and then, so it's an easier process for you.
Right.
But what they do is they base on information of how you've walked through the store, what you've bought previously, apply AI to that and put an offer that says, hey, would you like a 20% coupon in store today? We've got a special on shirts. Would you like that? You're returning a shirt. Would you like an offer? So being able to tailor those offers at the point of return, and that's driving, as I say, 46% in-store purchase, which is about 20%, which is about 26% more than they see on average.
Yeah, so those consumer experiences sound, pretty great and reassuring, and you feel like, the company's working with you and they understand you. What would be another example of a consumer experience? Basically, I know you talked about inventory and sales forecasting, so I guess they'll get the right things in the right places for the people that want them in that area or whatever. But what would be a consumer experience that would be a win because of AI?
So I spent some time on the Google booth earlier on. And what they're doing is improving the search experience by bringing a large language model. So you go into a party this weekend, you want a new outfit. The AI is going to ask you, hey, is it an indoor party, an outdoor party? is there a theme? It's going to be able to guide you through and present different shopping alternatives to you based on the interaction. So if you start with, hey, I'm going to this party, I need to get an outfit, it's going to augment that experience with large language model through Google's Vertex offering.
I mean, I don't want to talk about the safety concerns because I feel like it's a lot of what ifs and trying to give us the cautious stuff. I think the part of this is the excitement part. You mentioned scanned it. Anything else in your takeaways that you think was really cool?
Well, I think, as you mentioned, 51% of respondents see the only barrier being those safety concerns. So I think there still is some, there's still some pieces there that need to be aware of. You know, one of the other things I spent some time on Over's booth, 67% of customers prefer box-free and label-free returns. The experience of having to kind of get the box that you bought it, print the label at home, and be able to sort of muddle into the store to be able to do that. So I think we're going to see...
Definitely, yeah.
We've all seen that with our holiday returns.
Well, it's great. You can take your stuff to Whole Foods now for Amazon. Just take the shirt. It's great.
Yeah, so being able to... The battleground is getting people into a retail store. Some of the Adobe data saw mobile device purchases overtake even web purchases in this last holiday season.
Yeah.
So I think getting people into the store, and from some of the data, looking at it from some of the returns, 96% of consumers check out a retailer's return policy before they buy.
Oh, yeah.
It's as high as that.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
If you've got a frictionless experience for the retail in the retail storefront, you're going to drive higher footfall, you're going to drive engagement, you're going to drive purchases, and that ultimately leads to the bottom line for a lot of these retailers.
All right. Good to see you, Stephen Dickens, the Futurum Group. Thank you.